So we're going to start with the first question. Why did you take the CCIE? Why did you decide to become a CCIE?
Okay, so there are few reasons why I went for CCIE.
Mm,
And this is really funny because if you're gonna look back
mm,
how I started my career, it's not Cisco. My first job was a programmer, like a web application programmer.
mm,
And my first love in technology, outside engineering, of course, my
mm,
first love in IT was, it's not actually programming, it's actually Linux. And I
mm.
combined Linux. Yeah, I combined Linux and web development. Back then, I already know how to code, like C, C++,
Mm,
but I actually have a like connection with the web. So when
mm,
I started learning PHP and MySQL plus Linux, I
mm,
really fell in love. Like, this is it. This is what I wanted to do. Then I realized, I don't really have that special thing on my resume because I graduated as an engineer, but,
mm.
but I'll tell you what, I really had bad grades, like a bad transcript. And when I learned certification, okay, I need to have an advantage for my career. Okay, I graduated in college, but I need to get certifications. So the
Okay.
first certification of choice for me was Red Hat. So the Red Hat back then was really big for certification. We have the Red Hat Certified Engineer, okay, and then we
Mm,
also had CompTIA, and then we had Cisco.
okay.
So when I compared this certification program, Cisco was the best. Even now, Cisco has still the best certification program. So
Mm,
when some of my friends started doing CCNA, I look at the path, the certification path. So
mm.
we have design, we have security, we have service provider, and then we have multiple levels. When I saw that CCIE level, and I learned that companies will pay you huge amount of money if you're CCIE, oh man, that inspires me. Like, okay, despite of my bad grades, all right, my not so good college transcript, if
Mm,
I get this certification, specifically CCIE, okay, maybe I'll be successful.
mm.
But of course, we still need to start with the lowest level. Back then, the lowest level was CCNA.
Yeah.
So that's a story why I took CCIE. Like, it started from certification. Then I realized Cisco has the best certification program. And
Mm.
I don't know with the others, but when I saw CCNA and multiple levels, my plan is don't stop until I make the highest level, the CCIE.
Okay.
Some
Okay.
people will just be satisfied on CCNA, maybe
No.
CCNP. Okay, but me, the first time I saw the certification path, I want to get that expert level. Okay, and there are many reasons, because not only for my personal benefit, but
Mm-hmm.
also for my future, my family's future, and I also want to inspire others, because I came
Okay.
from a very poor environment. I have a very poor background,
Hmm.
so my drive is really different compared to those people who are already well off. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this is something that people don't understand, and we're going to unpack this a little more, because something that I noticed when I also graduated, and I didn't want to graduate because I understood that college doesn't prepare you to work. Doesn't It's not that it has its own value, but not as much as professional certifications. And you understood that, and then you start to pursue professional certifications. You start with Red Hat, and then you saw CCIE. And this is something that I've been talking about all the time with people that have been following me. Look at the benefit that you will take from certification, from a training, but don't just follow the traditional path on getting a degree at a college, because that's going to be the way to get a job. And man, we're talking, you're in Singapore, I'm in Portugal. That's a reality. So college doesn't prepare you for the market. Focus on professional certifications and the ones that will bring you more value. Cisco is a great vendor. They have these different levels: CCNA, CCNP, and CCIE. Aim for the one that will give you more benefit, right? That's could be like a summary of how to approach this. And how was your preparation? Okay, I want to get CCIE because this is going to pay more and there are other benefits. How did you start this preparation? How was it like? So you
All right.
start with the CCNA.
Yeah, I started with CCNA, and when I got my CCNA, this is, by the way, this is different because this was a long time ago. You know, if you were
Oh,
CCNA back in early 2000s
uh,
or mid 2000s, if you're already CCNA, it's quite easy to get a job. It's
okay.
different now, you know,
Yeah.
because there are too many CCNAs. Anyway,
Yeah.
so my first two certification is CCNA and CWNA.
Hmm.
You know CWNA, Certified
No.
Wireless Network Administrator?
No. No. I didn't know this
It's
one.
like Network Plus, but wireless.
Okay.
It's on
Okay.
CompTIA, it's under CWNP.
Hmm.
Organization, it's vendor neutral. So I had CCNA and CWNA because I believe wireless or Wi-Fi, wireless Ethernet networks will be the thing. It will be the future. So
In that
anyway,
time.
that time, yeah, that time,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
back in the mid 2000s, only few people have Wi-Fi at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, only few people, and a lot of people doesn't even know it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so when I was already CCNA, I applied for multiple jobs.
Hmm.
I got the advantage, obviously, because I don't only know Cisco, I also know how to program Linux and
Hmm.
wireless. Okay. Um, I landed this a very good career or a very good role. It's from it's a knock, one of the largest knock in the world.
Hmm.
Just take note of that. One of the largest network operations center in the world. It's a telco with their managed network or managed service provider business. Okay, it starts
Okay.
with letter V, like one of the biggest telco in the world. US based, starts with letter V, and probably know it. Um, and they're very generous. They're generous that you can just take more certifications or attend more training.
Hmm.
Just imagine you're working in a NOC environment where you get hands-on experience with Cisco routers, firewalls, not only Cisco but Juniper,
Hmm.
and other vendors. And
Okay.
then from time to time you can attend Cisco courses and then take certification for free.
They would pay. The company would pay all of that.
Well, technically it's a voucher that if you request for a voucher they
Mm-hmm.
will just give you.
Yeah,
How
that's
good
a
was that?
plus. Yeah.
How good is that, right?
I wish I had that.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people ask me, how do you get those certification? Well, that's one. This company really gives you almost unlimited vouchers. Also, you can attend trainings. Now, I was
Okay.
so lucky. I was able to attend these free training courses.
Mm.
Before it was called CCSP or Cisco Certified Security Professional. Okay, I don't know
Yeah.
if you know this, but before it's not CCNP routing switching, CCNP security, CCNP service provider. No, they call it CCNP, CCVP for voice, CCSP for security, CCIP for service provider.
Hmm.
So anyway, so that's a little history of Cisco certification. So I
Yeah.
was able to attend many security courses, Cisco security courses. And before, Cisco security it requires you 5 exams.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Was a
and that
lot.
yeah, and that 5 exams has their own specialty certifications. Okay, and
Okay.
I attended more even before. There are Cisco sales certification,
Yeah.
like wireless sales, routing and switching sales, security sales. I was able to attend those courses. And again, these are for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
All you had
There
to do
are,
was to study.
well, I love studying. I love studying and I love attending courses. Many
Hmm.
people in my in the company, they're okay. Maybe they will just attend 1 or 2 courses.
Mm,
Some they don't bother. Like, I'll just do my work, or I will not spend my free time attending courses, or
mm,
I'm not gonna allocate time for certification preparation. Okay, so my
okay.
mentality is different. Like, I have to take advantages of these free courses. I have to take advantages of these free exam vouchers.
So
So
you
that's my mentality.
so back then you already knew that this is valuable for me not only now but in the future.
Yeah, I already know way back that certifications are the future.
Okay.
If I get 10 to 15 certifications, okay, I will have a better chance in life for my career.
Okay.
Okay, I know
Okay.
I already have a good job as a
Mm-hmm.
NOC engineer, doing not just network engineering but network security engineering as well. I know
Mm-hmm.
if I get CCSP, or later it was transitioned to CCNP security and
Mm-hmm.
other CCNP track. Okay, I already know if I learned all of these technologies. And that time, by the way, this when the Cisco data center certification was introduced.
Okay.
Yeah, they introduced this new. Hold on, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe after 2 or 3 years, they introduced the CCNP data center. Anyway, so I focus on security. Okay, I can also do routing switching, but
Mm.
but uh, here's the thing: there are some engineers, my former colleagues, already had a CCNP course, or excuse me, the CCNP certification, and
Okay.
then they decided to go for CCIE. Just few of them,
Mm.
right? And that CCIE program, by the way, is up for grabs. Just imagine. Just imagine. This is how generous the company. If you want to take the CCIE or go for CCIE, okay,
Mm.
you may join the program for free. And
Then
before,
at the end of this call, just we're going to write the company name so I can join this company.
well, they
Uh,
don't do that anymore, unfortunately.
oh
So
man, yeah,
the
yeah,
culture before is different. Just
yeah.
imagine that CCIE program, they will give you CCIE exception, work exemption.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean? You don't need to work. Just 8 to 10 hours a day. You do the CCIE preparation. Before
Don't
they do
work.
that, no work. Just spend 8 to 10 hours preparing for CCIE.
That was
Again, they
great.
don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I wasn't part of that CCNE routing and switching program.
Mm-hmm.
What I did is, after my CCNP security and my other CCNP professional certification, after a year, I decided, okay, I will go for CCI security, but I will just do this low key.
Mm.
Right. So I got the CCIE written voucher. Before, there was written voucher, CCIE written, and then you go
Mm.
for the lab. It's different anymore. So the story was, only few people knows that I'm preparing for CCIE. Take note, I was doing this low key. I don't want to announce to the company
Okay.
that I'm preparing for CCIE lab. No, I just want to do it on my own, so there's no pressure.
Mm.
Not only that, I just want to surprise people, you know.
How
So,
were you managing your time?
oh,
Because
that time I was young, and I don't have much responsibility.
okay,
If you
so how
just
much in terms of time? Give me okay. What time were you working up, studying, eating, working? How was your schedule?
Okay, so I work 8 hours, 8 hours a day. Like,
Mm.
I have two shifts, 6 in the morning to 2 p.m. or 10 p.m. to no two. Excuse me, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
Right. So let's say I was working 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Excuse me,
Hmm.
6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's 8 hours. The moment I arrive home, which is 2:30 or 3 p.m., I will study 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., 8 hours every day, or 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. And
Every day.
on weekends, every day, but on weekends, the entire weekends, 10 to 12 hours just for CCI preparation. no life. That's it. So back in the days, here's the big difference. Back in the days, there were no smartphones. There's no Netflix. Was there YouTube? Yeah, there was YouTube, but not as crazy as we have now.
Yeah.
So the focus before is better.
Yeah.
If you want to study, if you already studying, you are more locked in.
Yeah.
So for me, the CCI preparation was better and was more effective.
Hmm.
So I already dedicated like a year for CCI security preparation.
Oh, man.
Yeah, a
That's
little less than a year, I would say. Less than a year, like 11 months for the CCI preparation. And I was just so lucky because the company, I don't know how they found out, but they found out that I was preparing for CCIE
mm,
security. And then they said, you're preparing for CCI security. Why don't we pay for your exam? Because I already invested with the materials like the INE, the
mm,
INE tokens. A lot of
mhm.
people doesn't know this, but the INE company, INE.com,
Yeah.
you know how they started? These are just CCI training companies. Do you know?
Brian and the other guys.
Yeah, yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So before Brian McGahan was there, Brian Dennis, I think
Yeah.
they started two of them started CCIE, and some people that you see in YouTube like Keith Barker was there,
Yeah.
Scott
Keith.
Morris was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that? Sekera.
Sekera. Yeah, I know who he is.
He's
Yeah.
also one of the instructors in INE, and they
Okay.
only run CCIE courses, more of live CCI courses. Mark Snow
Okay.
was there too.
Okay.
They don't have these cybersecurity certifications. They were not into online course materials, more of a
Hmm.
live CCIE training courses.
So
So
I
that
believe in the back in the days, people we didn't have much courses like online courses. Is I believe that probably live were the things, live trainings.
yeah, live courses was the thing, and the popular online courses before was CBT Nuggets, which still now
Hmm.
they're running. What else? Lynda.com.
Yeah.
Uh, I think LinkedIn acquired
Yeah.
Lynda.
Yeah. Yeah. They did. They did.
Mhm. Okay, so back in the days, not enough materials,
Hmm.
not enough certifications too. There are only
Yeah.
few certification vendors before CompTIA, Cisco, other vendors like Juniper.
Yeah.
Um, what else? ISC Squared. They've been around for many years already. But when it comes to Cisco, and I want to be honest with you, most of IT professionals would start with Cisco certification.
Hmm.
Like you don't have much options. CompTIA, okay, another option. Microsoft is another option, but
Yeah.
there was no cloud certifications. There were no AWS. There were no Google. Okay, Microsoft certifications are for PCs and servers, not for
Hmm.
cloud.
Hmm.
Okay, and between Cisco and CompTIA, obviously the better choice is Cisco because of the
Okay.
multiple path, multiple tracks, multiple specialization. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But to give you a highlight, why I started CCIE and how was my preparation is because I had the opportunity to,
Okay.
to to get the exam. The company would pay for my CCIE lab. Not only that, I was working in a NOC environment where we do a lot of routing and switching, VPN firewalls, and I already like a deal with my colleagues.
Hmm.
If you saw a VPN or a firewall problem or routing security related problem, give it to me no matter what, right? Because I'm preparing for CCIE security lab, so giving me a security related problem, it will
Okay.
help me for my CCIE lab preparation.
Hmm.
And everyone's so happy because if there is a VPN problem, if there was a Cisco ASA problem, they give it to me, and they
Hmm.
can just relax. skip work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the deal before. While I prepare for my CCIE lab, I want to apply the things that I was learning into my work environment.
Okay. Okay. And it took you 11 months, 1 year. And did you pass on the first attempt?
No, and I want to be honest with you. I really didn't pass my first attempt, and what that was already expected.
Hmm.
My my first attempt, I think that was my 8th month. Was it 8 months? Maybe, yeah, maybe 8 month preparation, and then the second attempt would be after 30 or like 30, let's say 30 to 45 days. I
Mm-hmm.
felt I failed again real bad.
Second
Like,
attempt?
yeah, I failed the second attempt. And by the way, the CCIE lab before, it's a little different because we have this core knowledge. I
Mm.
forgot the name. It's like a core knowledge where
Mm.
they ask you 3 questions, not three, 4 questions. They ask you 4 questions. It's not multiple choice. You have to type the answer. And one
Okay.
question is like you create a paragraph, like a
Mm.
description, or you
Mm.
provide a scenario, an example. So this core knowledge, like 4 questions, not lab, not multiple choice. If you fail that first part, even
You
if you
feel.
perfect the lab, you will fail.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. That was the CCIE back then. It went only for a year or maybe less, and they dropped that section.
Oh, man. Well, many
Yeah.
people were failing because of that, probably.
I believe there were many complaints about that
Hmm.
section. Because
Okay.
if you think about it, it will not make you an expert if you forgot the meaning of this technology, right?
Yes, yes. It's not
Yeah.
one technology that makes you an expert.
Right, right. And the real purpose of CCIE lab is, to fix things, to
Yeah.
implement, to
Yeah.
make this technology work, not, some kind of terminology or explain what this technology means and how it works.
Yeah.
So they removed that section.
Okay. And so that was on your second attempt. And how many did you try until you passed?
I passed the third attempt.
Third attempt.
Yeah, I passed the third attempt. Like, I spent a little more time with the third attempt preparation, like
Hmm.
over 2 months. Was it 2 months or probably even more? So the third attempt, I made sure that I'm gonna pass it,
Hmm.
and that time I was no longer working with that service
That,
provider company, so I'm
okay.
the one who pays for my third exam. And for
Hmm.
me, I was really serious that time because that's my own money. That's my own money.
It's coming from your own pocket, so you better pass this time.
Correct.
And on the second attempt, so this is a question that I get also, is why people don't quit when they fail the first one if it's so hard to prepare for the CCIE. Didn't you felt like probably I should stop on the second attempt?
No, because
Why
that's not the
not?
because that's not the goal. Whatever
Mm,
happens, you have to finish the goal.
okay.
And the concept of marathon, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how long you finish the race.
Mhm.
The goal is to finish the race.
Okay.
Marathon is so long. It may take you how many hours? 2, 3, 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
You can have a break. You can drink water, whatever you want. That the goal is to finish the race.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the CCIE. I already know that I'm gonna fail the first attempt. I
Mm.
was I was a young CCIE. Yeah, I started my career young.
Okay.
I went for CCI preparation. I think I was as young as 27 years old.
That's very young. That's
Yeah.
very young. That requires a lot of focus on that early stage of your life. right?
Right. And I already dedicated myself. I already told myself, no matter what happened, I will pass CCIE. It's
Hmm.
whether or not I'm gonna pass this year or next year or in a couple of years, I will pass it. That's it.
Okay.
That's the goal. And whatever excuses, whatever frustration that I
Hmm.
may feel, I am very positive that I will go back to my fit. I will maybe recalibrate, and
Hmm.
I will focus studying until I pass the exam.
Okay, that's mindset. That's what I say.
Yeah,
CCIE guys, everything they have in common is the mindset, and it's something that you either have it or you don't have it, but you can train it, obviously,
yeah.
right?
And you will learn a lot during the preparation, like the journey itself. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things that you will gain. All of the experience, not just hard work, but the discipline,
Hmm.
the mindset. Not only that, the how to avoid distractions.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I rejected a lot of invites. Just imagine, I have friends, not many, but people invite me for, I don't know, party or gathering. Even
yeah,
my families and relatives, I reject most of the invites because I have to prepare. I have a
yeah,
goal.
yeah. That's not easy at all. That's I would
No,
say that this part is the hardest one in comparison to the resources, sitting for the lab, studying, uh, being away for so long from the closest ones to you. That's the hardest one, right?
yeah. The hardest probably the dedication.
Yeah.
How dedicated are you to push your limits to uh, allocate the time for preparation for studying?
Mm.
That is the question. How bad you want it?
Yeah.
Because if you just want it but not so bad,
Yeah.
like you are required by the company,
Mm.
uh, it may work for some people, but for some people it may not.
Yeah. Yeah. That's commitment.
Yeah,
Okay. So you got your CCIE, and during this preparation phase, you changed to another company. So, uh, what changed after you becoming a CCIE?
all right. What changed after passing CCIE?
Mm.
All right. This is actually a turning point. This is a life-changing moment for me.
Hmm.
Okay. When I passed my CCIE, I had like a 1 month off. I resigned when oh, no. I didn't resign after passing CCIE. I resigned before passing the CCIE.
Hmm. Why?
Um, long story, but
Long story.
yeah, long story, but I resigned like a couple of weeks before my third attempt.
Okay.
Okay, couple of weeks before my third attempt. So when I passed the CCIE, I'm jobless, but
Yeah.
that's okay. I was happy, and the moment I passed CCIE, not moment, but that month when I passed CCIE, which is November of 2010, I
Hmm.
started applying for jobs,
Hmm.
and just a week or maybe less than a week, I got multiple offers.
Man.
How
How?
how good is that?
Yeah,
And
man.
back then, security was just starting to pick up.
Yeah.
Like most companies would look for CCIE routing and switching, but
Hmm.
most companies also wanted to hire CCI security, not only for Cisco, but for other vendors.
Yeah.
Like because if you are CCI security, um, many companies would assume that you also know Checkpoint, for example, okay,
Hmm.
or other firewalls or VPN solution or F5, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was looking for a job, most company wants to hire me are Cisco Gold
Hmm.
SIs, Cisco resellers, or
Okay.
Cisco system integrators. Cisco Gold partnership before it was a thing. If you have a CCIE, you can take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have multiple offers in Singapore, in Philippines, and even in Middle East. But I chose becoming a CCSI, a Cisco instructor.
What? Why?
Yes. Remember back when I was working in a NOC engineer and I have to
Yeah.
attend Cisco courses?
Yeah.
Remember the free Cisco training courses?
Yeah.
Those are expensive courses, by the way.
Hmm.
So when I was attending those Cisco courses, I hang out with those instructors. These
Hmm.
instructors are from Australia, from Singapore. Most of them are from Australia. And we actually, I enjoyed hanging out with them. So we drink, we go to casinos, and then when we hang out, I was curious about, the Cisco instructor career, or not just even Cisco, the IT instructor career. And they
Hmm.
travel a lot. They have this unlimited materials or unlimited opportunities in learning.
Hmm.
So that company, when I passed my CCIE, I applied as an instructor.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's one of the biggest IT company, not IT company, learning company or training company worldwide. But I applied in the Asia Pacific region, which is based in Sydney or in Australia, but they have branch in Malaysia, Singapore, and in Philippines. So
Hmm.
I applied for this company, and since we already know each other, like I'm one of your students
Yeah.
in this company. I'm one of the students you teach
Yeah.
for your client, and you already know me, like my background. I'm already a CCIE, and we used to hang out before, so there's already a level of trust.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a quick process. There was an interview. There was um just a quick process, like minimal
Mm-hmm.
process, and I got
Oh,
hired. And that's where I met. Actually, I didn't meet Neil Anderson when I joined the company. I met Neil Anderson because Neil Anderson was my instructor.
who is that guy?
Neil Anderson, the best CCNA rated, the highest rated CCNA course in Udemy. That's him.
Oh,
It's also the
okay.
guy that I interview. We had a podcast.
Okay.
So I met
Okay.
Neil Anderson in this company. So
Okay.
we were both Cisco instructors, and it was fun because you get to meet other instructors as well. You travel. That time we only travel in Asia Pacific,
Hmm.
but at least there were free travels, and you teach, which is my passion.
Hmm.
My passion is teaching and learning, and I
Hmm.
get paid um, for that task, for that um, I don't want to call it like a job, because if you enjoy teaching, which
Yeah. Doesn't look
truthfully I
like a
teach
job.
for free. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So I teach, I enjoy it, but you're getting paid well.
Uh,
Not bad, right?
yeah. Not bad. I just made it in life. Yeah.
So yeah, so after CCIE, I was hired by a Cisco training company, and I
Okay.
started delivering CCNA, CCNP courses.
Okay. That's the first time that I listened to someone explain this route, because most of the CCIEs or CCIE you want to be, the path is to join a big company such as Cisco, any integrator or Cisco
Mhm.
partner, not becoming a teacher unless you know something about that specific career and you want to become a teacher. And in your case, you already had some, I would say, information about this role, becoming a Cisco instructor, and you decide to choose that path, and because also you like to teach, you like to learn, so there's a lot of benefits. And so you are at this company, but I noticed something in your profile is that you also have certifications from other vendors.
Right. So this training company,
Hmm.
most training company, you don't only deliver one vendor or one
Hmm.
organization. So it just so happened that this training company, we deliver Cisco, we deliver F5, Microsoft. I believe we deliver Microsoft as well. I was just not interested delivering
Hmm.
Microsoft and other vendors. So NetApp, that's that's one other vendor that we deliver courses and certification. NetApp.
Okay.
But back in the day, with that training company, I deliver Cisco and F5.
Hmm.
That's why I have F5 certifications.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
do you think that it helps one to have certifications across different vendors?
absolutely.
Hmm.
Okay, so here's the thing. Um, depends how you want your career to be. For
Hmm.
example, if your plan is to work in just one specific vendor.
Okay.
In my case, I can just do all Cisco, and then after becoming a Cisco instructor, maybe I'll just work with Cisco. I don't care about other vendors. I don't care about Juniper. I don't care about F5 because my plan is to work with Cisco, which
Hmm.
is not a bad choice. I just want to work with Cisco. I will become a Cisco employee and I will do nothing but Cisco. If
Okay.
that's your goal, just focus on Cisco. Okay. But me, I want to focus on network and application security. That is
Hmm.
why F5 is my vendor of choice because back in the days, not too many companies has WAF solution.
Mm-hmm.
F5 has F5 has WAF solution. So I decided, okay, I will go for Cisco security to be specific, and F5 F5 networks. So that's my two main vendors.
Hmm.
And at that time, um, after was it 2 years, maybe a little more, maybe 2.5 years, after 2 years as a CCSI, I work with a different company.
Hmm.
I kept my CCSI, I kept my F5 certified trainer status, but I work with another company which is an SI. It
Hmm.
didn't work out, so I had to I missed delivering courses, so I had to
Hmm.
again deliver courses. I had to apply for another training company.
Okay.
Yeah. So this training company, most probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Cisco training company globally.
Hmm.
Yeah. This is
Udemy.
no Cisco. When I say Cisco training company, it's official Cisco training company. We call it
Oh.
CLP, Cisco Learning
Okay.
Partner.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Because
there
you
are
really want to continue teaching.
yes. I am now connected to one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Cisco learning company. They
Hmm.
have many offices worldwide. Okay, and this is the time that I was able to experience traveling the world, not only in Asia Pacific but also in Europe and in the United States.
Oh.
So I started 2013 with this company, and then, by the way, so these training companies, they don't hire full-time employees. They
Oh.
hire part-time, aka contractors, instructor contractors, where we are only paid if we have a schedule.
Okay.
So just imagine you're just sitting at home, and the company will call you and will chat you, and then they will ask for your availability. If everything goes well, they will schedule you, and sometimes you will book your flight and your hotels, and then you will just reimburse it. It depends on the agreement, depends on their
Hmm.
policy. So
Okay.
I have one training company associated with for Cisco, and then a different training company I was associated with F5. So
Okay.
just imagine multiple companies contact me if there are training schedule. And that time training delivery was in demand. So I juggled my time with the Cisco training partner and F5 training partner. And I don't know what happened when it was magic. I
Hmm.
learned not only Cisco security, more Cisco security, I also learned Cisco data center. So that
Hmm.
time, Cisco was really doing well in their data center portfolio. The UCS, the Nexus, they are ramping with the SDN, which is Cisco ACI.
Yeah.
So Cisco was really doing big time for both security and data center. And me, one of the only guys who understand both security and data center, I was getting a lot of course schedule, training schedule, not only Asia Pacific, but again in Europe and in the United States. Excuse me,
Hmm.
United States. So I was so busy. I was juggling my time with F5 training and Cisco training, and believe it or not, my schedule was always jam full packed. My
That's great.
average flight,
Hmm.
believe it or not, for 5 years or even more, my average flight was 10 flights in a month.
That's
Yeah,
a lot.
10 flights in a month, and I have to deliver many training courses, many course titles from Cisco security, from Cisco security, data center routing, switching, and F5.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's good for you, man.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's not easy, which means that there is a lot of value on what you deliver, right?
Let's just say I'm lucky that courses that I can deliver was so in demand,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and on the sides, this is very normal for contract instructors. If you're delivering courses part time per
Hmm.
schedule basis, you will set up a consulting company
Hmm.
because it's very common that you are a contractor instructor. Your client, maybe they want your service, like a consultant service, your expertise. Okay,
Hmm.
and that's what happened. I become a consultant for Cisco data center, Cisco security, and even F5. So on the side, especially if my month is not too busy, which
Hmm.
was really rare, so I was able to uh, deliver and provide consulting services to some companies, again worldwide, not only in Asia Pacific.
Oh, which means that you are working as a independent, as a contractor, teaching, and
Hmm.
also providing consultancy services.
Yes,
Right?
yeah,
That's
worldwide,
worldwide. That's great.
worldwide. Yeah, that was great. Like I was living the dream. Okay,
Yeah.
and during the traveling days, can you imagine you get the perks of staying in a 5-star hotel because the company doesn't always take care of their instructors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to book 5-star hotel, okay? Because we want you to be comfortable.
Yeah.
That's how good they are. Okay, and then choose your own airline company.
First
So
class.
not first class. Sometimes business class if it's not too expensive or
Hmm.
if there are no options, sometimes they will approve it. Okay, but ensure they will not give you cheap options.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that's one of the perks. Another perk was, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I no longer have it. But
Hmm.
this company was so huge, and they were really closely tied with Cisco. We instructors has Cisco badge.
Hmm.
I have a Cisco red badge, and I can access Cisco offices because we
Hmm.
were trusted learning partner. So
Okay.
if I go to Cisco office and I wear that red badge, it looks like I was a Cisco employee.
Okay. That's great, man.
Yeah, yeah, it was great. It was great. When I go to Cisco offices, sometimes I hang out with the Cisco guys
Mm-hmm.
in Thailand, in Australia, because they already know me, as a frequent instructor who deliver multiple Cisco courses. So it was so good, and I thought it will not stop until pandemic
Hmm.
happens.
Oh,
Until pandemic happens.
What
So
happened?
all of those good things that I shared, the
Yeah,
traveling, the Cisco badge, the
yeah.
10 flights a month, all of the perks, it all went away thanks to pandemic. Yeah. I was still
That's
able to deliver courses online. I was able to do. I'm one of the first DevNet instructors back in
mm,
2020.
mm,
I was still able to deliver these new courses because there was a transition, certification program transition, February of 2020, which is the pandemic month, right?
yeah,
The lockdown month due to
yeah.
pandemic was Feb of 2020. So this was also the same month Cisco transitioned from the old certification program to the new certification program. So 2020 was still okay. There were no traveling, but there's a lot of online classes, online
Mm,
delivery. Still okay. 2020, 2021, first half is okay. Second half, the training business was slowly dying.
mm.
So here's my question: the, how frequent do you think Cisco course delivery nowadays, 2025?
How often?
Like Cisco
Mm,
learning delivery, like official from an official learning partner.
once per month.
In my case, it's actually less. It's really, really different.
Whoa.
One of the this is one of the impact of pandemic.
Hmm.
A lot of companies tried self-learning, Udemy or on-demand video
Hmm.
for learning materials. And the mentality of the company, mentality of some professionals is self-learning is okay. So self-learning, self-paced learning is fine.
Hmm.
Udemy is good because we don't need to spend the entire week sitting in a class.
Yeah.
We can do this at home. We can do this at night or whenever we have free time. Okay, and companies they thought we don't need to spend this much of money to attend
Hmm.
a course. There are many options out there online. Not only that, we instructors, we their mentality is we don't need to fly. We don't need instructors to fly to this country or to this city. We can do Zoom online,
Yeah.
like online live online courses. Um, and we can do this even in multiple. We can have multiple attendees from many
Yeah.
different
Different
countries,
countries from at
many
same
different countries.
same time zone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the things happened during pandemic. Like the training business was really affected.
Okay.
Okay, that's when I started doing Udemy. 2020,
Hmm.
when I had less courses, and 2021 as well, when I had less courses, okay, I decided, okay, I'll do Udemy. I'll do Udemy courses. We have more free time during pandemic. Do you agree?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah. The question is, what will you do with this free time? Is it for learning, creating content, or just
Hmm.
entertainment? Like a lot of people are starting to watch Netflix. A lot of people started to watch a lot of YouTube. What else? Games. Game streaming back then was very popular. It died
Yeah.
down as well, right?
Yeah.
Game streaming. No one's doing game streaming anymore. So, pandemic days, there's a lot of things to do. But my choice was doing content, online content, both Udemy and YouTube.
Hmm. I believe that was around the same time when I started to make content online because I wanted to take my CCIE in 2020 before Cisco changed their program because it would be the new program and we would have to start studying from scratch. And I didn't want that to happen. But
Right.
pandemic happened. And so 2020, I was there. Okay, now we have to wait and understand what is this new program. And when Cisco closed the centers, I said, okay, what am I going to do? And just like you, I also like to learn, like to teach. And one way to learn and to teach was to, okay, let's go online, let's go to Udemy. I also joined Udemy back then, and I started to make also videos on YouTube, because what else could you do, right? You have all this knowledge, you, okay, I'm just going to give away for free, or I'm going to set up a course or something like that. Okay, so this happened around the same time. So you have a less busy schedule, you have a company around that time, because you were working as a contractor, so you had your company already established. You start to make content online on Udemy. And what's next? What happened next?
Um, it's a good question because if you think about it, I have a lot of responsibility. My Udemy courses, my corporate SI. I have an SI company
Hmm.
where we provide a secured infrastructure solution. I do YouTube part time. Think of it as a hobby, and I'm
Yeah.
still doing live classes. I'm still a certified trainer, not as busy as it used to be, but I'm still certified to deliver multi-vendor courses. So if you ask me, I'll just keep doing what I do.
Okay.
Man, that's
Just
it.
just, and believe that now with family, things are more busy, or easy to manage, or it's manageable now?
Um, it's a little different on my side, a little
Hmm.
more complicated. We can talk about that later or some other.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's something that let's just say I'm used to it already.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Because
used to
it's not easy to have, like, working under pressure. Uh this is not for everyone. And those who can work under pressure just love it.
it. Mm.
That's the idea that I have. And when you get to a place where your life starts to be like so calm, then it might be challenging, right? But anyway, we can evolve that in a little bit. Now, uh, obviously, you've been watching this new trend that people call AI. There's a lot of hype, or
Yeah.
probably not. Uh, as a professional on the security, how do you see AI is affecting companies? And how can we prepare to protect the usage of AI inside the companies?
All right. That's a good question. And the AI, as we know, this is the biggest buzzword for
Yeah.
the past year. A lot of people talking about AI, but when you say AI, there are many levels.
Hmm.
AI is not just one level. There are many levels. If we can start with the prompt AI, like
Yeah.
what do you call that? Generated AI,
Prompt, generative prompt,
right?
something,
Generated AI or Gen AI or prompt AI.
or
Okay.
whatever the new name they have right now.
Yeah. So this Gen AI, for me, it's just a faster Google search. It's
Hmm.
just a faster Grammarly, for example. It's a
Hmm.
faster dictionary. It's a faster way of researching or reconstructing content. Okay. That is Gen AI. Another, maybe this is also under Gen AI, is a faster video editing. Right? It's a faster way, or I would say a little smarter way of video editing,
Hmm.
because there's this one tool, Leonardo AI. I forgot. Is it
Yeah.
Leonardo AI? It creates you like cartoons or an image
Hmm.
based on what you tell them or tell it.
Hmm.
Okay? You don't need to be good at Photoshop. You don't need to be good in video editing. They will just create the video or the image for you. Okay, so that
Okay.
is the uh, Gen AI. Um, Now Gen AI can also be used in many different ways, like programming. Correct?
Yeah.
You can ask to you can ask the Gen AI to provide or write you a code.
Hmm.
You can also use Gen AI to produce Cisco configuration.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, Gen AI is a tool.
Hmm.
Is a tool. Nothing more, but just a tool. So if you are used to using tools, Gen AI is like a more intuitive or faster tool.
Okay.
Will it affect your job? Well, if you're good at using Gen AI, you can take advantage of it. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So people should start using as a tool instead of just being afraid that what it might happen or might replace your job.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Okay.
but you also have to develop a skills that Gen AI cannot do it for you. For example,
Hmm.
social skills, presentation skills, negotiation skills. Gen AI cannot do that for you. You cannot use Gen AI during the negotiation. You cannot use Gen AI during a
Hmm.
presentation. So I would highly suggest focus also on the soft skills.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, building confidence. Obviously, Gen AI cannot help you with that.
Yeah. But
Okay,
it's just another tool.
it's just another tool. Okay, and it's
Okay.
not 100%. It's also not 100% accurate. Okay,
Yeah.
so you still need to use your skills and intuition.
Yeah.
Um, so that's another AI. Another AI is related to applications.
Hmm.
Now, this is where many companies are trying to invest with their product. For example, Cisco is investing with a lot of AI. Maybe they are starting to add AI in their security solution, in their products. Okay, nothing bad about that, but the, it's not always accurate. Okay,
Yeah.
we're still in the stage where okay, we can start doing AI, but it's not perfect. Application based AI is not perfect. Okay, here's the best example of application based AI.
Hmm.
What's the most common use case for AI? Application based AI. What's the most common use case?
I would say probably the way people use ChatGPT.
No, no, application based AI, not Gen AI.
Hmm. So give
What?
me an example because
Right. No guess.
no.
It's chatbot. Chatbot.
Oh, yeah.
The
Okay.
most common use case of application based AI is
Hmm.
chatbot. But here's the problem. Which one would you want to talk with? A chatbot or a real person?
In my case, I always choose a real person.
See, so it's not perfect. And chatbot becoming a real person is far from reality. Do
Okay.
you agree?
It depends on which model is being used because
Okay, all right.
I,
It depends. It depends. But
yes,
not many company will just suddenly create a chatbot that
yeah,
is equal or smarter than a real person.
yeah. I gotta say depends because I've seen cases, and last year I went to AWS event here in Portugal, and this company they were using a module from that is somewhere in AWS market, and that's voice, and it's real close to be real. The voice, the interaction with the agent, you can tell if that's a person or an agent. That was a demonstration, and I've also heard cases of companies that they're not replacing, they replaced many people in their sales team with this agent AI.
Right, right. Maybe for some companies they come up with,
Yeah, use depends on the use case.
yeah, yeah.
But in our field, I don't see like it's happening now, like cyber.
Not anytime soon, especially in the
Yeah,
security world, or an AI designing an infrastructure. I cannot
yeah,
imagine an AI designing and building data center infrastructure. Like,
yeah.
how can they connect servers and switches together?
Mm, yeah,
And we can just start with the design. I don't think so.
no,
AI, if there are people affected by AI, it's more on the manufacturing side.
mm,
It has something to do with the robots.
okay,
Amazon, not AWS, started
yeah,
to cut off jobs because there are more robots helping them packing the packaging and
yeah.
preparing the packaging. They don't need some
Humans to
humans
do
anymore.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So that those are the roles that are more affected. But if you're working in an IT environment,
Mm,
especially into cybersecurity or network engineering or cloud infrastructure,
mm.
um, not happening, not in the next 5 to 10 years. That's at least my assumption.
Okay, okay. So let's suppose that I want to join IT now. Which steps, which courses, which resources would you recommend me to take or to use?
Mm. Okay, this is a very common question. A lot of people asking me this. What I always tell them is, if you have no idea on what to be
Mm,
in an IT career, because IT career, I can name, or I can provide you at least 20 different roles.
yeah.
Okay, you cannot just say IT professional. There are many roles, and this roles has different responsibilities, different career path, etc.
Mm,
If you have no idea yet, the best start would be networking and Linux technologies.
mm,
So we can start with CCNA and Linux Plus, or you can go for KLCP. It's still up to you. But CCNA plus Linux skills is probably what I would recommend. But that is the best, the safest
mm.
technology to learn.
Okay. Because now CCNA, it's not just routing, switching. It's now Cisco made it like routing, switching, security, automation, AI. So you get a strong
Um,
foundation, right?
you will have a strong foundation in networking. They also introduce a little Linux. They introduce
Mm,
a little programming, not so much, a little programming, a little AI. There's a lot of little something, but
mm-hmm.
the goal is to have a very strong foundation in routing and switching. Okay,
Okay.
and having a good strong foundation in routing and switching will prepare you for a better security security knowledge, okay, and
Mm,
cloud knowledge, because I know many cloud professional. They can talk about servers, they can talk about DevOps, for example, or application related technologies. But in AWS, one of the core technologies under AWS infrastructure is VPC, or virtual private cloud.
mm,
VPC is the network
yeah.
of AWS infrastructure, and I know many AWS professional has a very bad foundation in networking, so that they have a limited knowledge or working knowledge with VPC. Okay,
Mm,
so I
okay.
would say networking plus Linux. If you understand Linux, you will create a foundation not only on the operating system level, but on the compute level, storage level, even security. There's always a debate if networking is a requirement for cybersecurity, or no, if CCNA is a requirement for cybersecurity.
Mm,
My answer will always depends. I know a lot of penetration testers, they don't know anything about routers and switches. They don't know anything about Cisco. There are good penetration testers. Their knowledge or their foundational knowledge is Linux, not routing and switching. Okay, so
Okay.
again, it depends. But if you're working towards on becoming security engineer or security architect or a SOC engineering, routing and switching knowledge is a must.
Okay. And what it would be the next? So this is, we're saying like to get started into IT, and then, well, I want to be like you, Dean. So what would be like the highest level cert that you recommend me to get, and probably I'll get the money that all this guy talk about on online.
Um, you mean be like me? I'm doing a lot of things, you know. I can be a YouTuber. You mean
Yeah.
me as what? A YouTuber as
No, as a professional in the IT space, in cybersecurity
Mm.
space, right? So once I get the CCNA and I have this understanding about Linux, so what should I do next?
There are many different paths. You
Hmm.
know, I created a video called Best Cybersecurity Role and Specialization. I list down the 6 best path. Okay,
Okay.
let's just talk about the first and the second best path. And this for me, this is my personal opinion. The
Hmm.
second best is cloud security.
Hmm.
Second best is cloud security, and what I tell people is if you know compute, if you know networking, and if you know a little programming, the best path for you is cloud. Go for AWS. Okay.
Hmm.
And all of those technology that you know, compute, Linux, a little programming, networking, and you can add security, you can combine all together and specialize cloud security professional. Okay, which is not
Okay.
really a bad idea because if you are working as an AWS professional focusing on security, you can add sub specialization, for example, AI security, application security,
Hmm.
right? And many others, or DevOps, DevSecOps. You can add those together. Okay, so
Okay.
that is my second recommendation. Cloud security. It's still under cybersecurity. It's just that you specialize in the cloud. Okay, my this is actually my biased uh
Hmm.
biased opinion. The number one is security engineer and security architect role. Okay, this
Okay.
is where you combine security solutions from routing, switching, firewalls, VPNs, IDS and IPS, WAF. Okay, so if you are knowledgeable with many different vendors and products, Cisco, F5, Palo Alto Networks, Checkpoint, Fortinet,
Hmm.
etc., this is where you can take advantage of this skill set where you don't only troubleshoot, you don't only implement, but you design infrastructure. Okay. For me, that is the best cybersecurity role. And all of your skills,
Hmm.
you will use it. Your routing and switching skills, your firewall VPN skills, your IDS, IPS skills, your malware protection skills, and what else? Even programming, maybe a little, because you may use automation as well.
Hmm.
Soft skills, because if you are an architect, you may talk and engage with clients. Okay, so social
Hmm.
skills is something that you need to improve as well or develop as well. Presentation skills is also one thing. So for
Hmm.
me, if there is a best role, cybersecurity role is becoming a security architect.
Okay, so I'm going to later on. I'm going to share the link to this video of yours in the video description so that people can watch entirely and see all the video and get their own opinion. Now, before we finish this one, so I want to I would like to get your comment on this because there is one video of yours that you made some time ago about CCNA. So you
Mhm.
probably remember. So is CCNA a garbage? Is it a waste or not?
All right, that question is not. It's. I asked that question because many people believe it's a waste. Okay,
Okay.
only few YouTubers says that.
Hmm.
I know personally who will debate with you to say don't go for CCNA. It's a garbage, it's a waste. Okay. Of course they're not popular. It's just people messing around, or they just personally don't believe CCNA is not a good certification.
Hmm.
Okay. But for me, it's the obvious answer is CCNA is one of the best certification you can start your career or your certification journey. Okay,
Okay.
because routing and switching knowledge is really something that you will apply not only as a network engineer, also a security engineer, even a cloud engineer.
Hmm.
Um, Not only that, Cisco or CCNA has been around for many decades. Okay,
Hmm.
maybe 3 decades. Is it? Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
around 3 decades, right?
around
And
3 decades.
they
Yeah.
have developed this for so many years, and CCNA always adapt to the trend.
Hmm.
Okay, and CCNA is also popular.
Yeah.
Many roles, cybersecurity roles, cloud engineering roles, even management. You will see CCNA as one of the requirement. Okay, will you use CCNA or your routing and switching skills in all of these roles and titles? Maybe not, but it's so popular they added it as one of the required certification. So why is it garbage? I know some YouTubers, they tell you not to get it. Okay, they advise you, oh, get this certification instead, get this certification instead. But CCNA is one of the best certifications to start your career. So
Okay.
to answer your question, no, it's not a garbage. It's not a waste of time.
Okay, Dean. So there are two questions that actually I wanted to ask you before we close this one. And the first one is, what is the most your favorite certification?
Right. Interesting question. Um, so I have
Hmm.
quite a number of certifications,
Yeah.
right? And the reason why I have a lot of certifications because, like what I mentioned, I am a trainer. And
Hmm.
if you are a certified trainer, what happens is you are given opportunities, training opportunities based on courses that you can deliver.
Yeah.
And the more courses that you can deliver, obviously, the more opportunities, the more income that you will get. Okay, and this is the reason
Mm.
why I can deliver courses, and I have many certifications. Because if you are certified to deliver these courses or course titles, you will be getting more opportunities. And
Mm.
one requirement is you get to be certified first. Now,
Okay.
back to your question.
Hmm.
What is my favorite certification amongst those? I think I got 70 plus certifications all in all. I don't really count, but around 70 plus. If
Hmm.
there's this one favorite, it will be CCIE security, of course. And
What?
you agree that CCIE is a life changing certification,
For
yeah?
sure, 100%, 100%.
Right, right. So it's CCIE security plus if there is a secondary favorite, that will be the CCSI, the Certified Cisco System Instructor. Okay, and I got both certification like a couple of months away. So
Hmm.
after I received my CCIE security certification, after 2 or 3 months, I got my CCSI. The reason why it was so special because I got those two certifications around 29 years old. Before 30, I got those two certifications. And something that I am proud about.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
I hit 30, I got that two rare certifications. It was very rare, especially back in the 2010s. I got the CCI in 2010 and got the CCSI, the instructor certification in 2011. Back then, those two certifications are quite rare.
Hmm.
So
So,
that is my answer. Do you not agree CCIE should be our favorite certification?
man, that's what I'm saying all the time. If there is one certification, if you're serious about pursuing a career in IT, networking, security, service provider, data center, just aim directly to CCIE because the effort that you're going to put to really learn the foundation to really learn how to design network, how to design solution. That's CCIE. If I had to start from scratch from the beginning, I would start directly or preparing for CCIE. That's my take. So definitely CCIE is my top favorite certification as well. Okay. The last one.
There's
You.
one thing that I
Yeah, yeah,
would
yeah.
like to add because there's a
Mm,
lot of debate on
yeah.
CCIE. A lot of people will say, "Oh, CCIE is only good if you're doing Cisco, but if you're not doing Cisco, it's useless." There's a lot of debate. There's a lot of comment regarding that mindset.
Yeah.
Based on my experience, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen this a lot. If you're a CCIE, you have a lot of opportunities, not only Cisco companies or VAR doing
Yeah.
Cisco. Okay.
Yeah.
And back then, I don't know if you know this, if you're a CCIE, it's quite easy to be hired by Cisco. Not
Yeah.
only Cisco, but also the competitors. I know a
Yeah.
lot of CCIE hired by Juniper. I know a lot of CCIE hired by Arista, HP, even VMware, and even AWS.
Yeah.
So CCIE, although it's a Cisco certification, many companies recognize this certification, and even their product is not Cisco. They know the certification. They have an idea how capable
Mhm.
you are, and they will hire you. Do you agree?
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. And still, even some companies, like you said, from other vendors, they understand that what you learn to become a CCIE is more than enough to take care of other technologies to of other products, because the only difference in terms of knowledge once you become a CCIE is just you're handling Cisco products.
Yeah.
But the basics, the foundation on how to identify threats, identify or deploy ZTA solution, how to secure a company. Those concepts are applied in any vendor. So it's not only on Cisco products. The difference is how you're going to enable that feature on a Cisco product, and this is going to change for each vendor, but the concepts on why you need a firewall, why you need a VPN, why you need to deploy a secure infrastructure, CCIE gives you that foundation that you can apply in any other vendor. Yeah, so I'm totally 100% agreeing with you on that one as well.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And it's not just the certification, the discipline, the entire journey,
Yeah.
uh, the preparation, the entire preparation. I did my preparation a little less than 1 year overall until I complete my CCIE. But just
Yeah.
imagine that time, it was all dedication. We sacrifice a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's enough. That is a proof that you are capable,
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
a professional, and if you can do CCIE, okay, you can do many things as well.
Yeah, and just to add on this one as well, not on this one. So even today, if I'm facing a problem at the company, first I'll try to solve like a normal person. That's what I say. And then when it's taken like 60 minutes to solve the problem, then it's okay. Let me think like a CCA. Let me solve this once and for all.
Like a
So
Super Saiyan mode, huh?
yeah, enough playing. Okay, I'm a CCIE, so let me solve this, because normally at the companies, when they handle you a problem, is because you're the last guy who can solve that problem. And if you can't solve that problem, people start looking at you like, oh man, you are a CCIE and you can't solve that. And even if it's not related with your specialization, whether it's security, enterprise, or service provider, when people know that you are a CCIE, they expect you to deliver no matter what.
There's a pressure, huh? There's a
Yeah,
level.
there is a pressure all the time. I'm not a wireless expert by no means, but sometimes I have a client who reach out to me that say we have this problem with wireless, and I tell my boss, look, I'm not a wireless expert, you should get a wireless expert. He said, you're a CCIE. It's like, figure it out. If you can
Right.
solve this, I don't know who else can solve this. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And actually we have the foundation on how to troubleshoot, and
Yeah.
how, even if you don't know how to handle that equipment, but we understand the technology, we understand that this is just bits and bytes, and and the basic the basic question that you have to ask is, what is the problem? And once you understand how to when you identify, okay, this is the problem, why is this problem happening? So the thought process that you learn during the CCIE preparation can be applied in any situation in life. And probably you also had a different experience where you had to like to wear your CCIE hat and kind of solve the problem, right?
Yeah. I love troubleshooting. I love fixing things and
Yeah,
solving problems. So CCI for me is something that I already know that I want to get it,
yeah,
because in life I'm doing a lot of things and I am enjoying solving problems.
yeah, yeah.
All right, one example is, even when I was a kid, I loved uh, math problems. Excuse me. I
Mm.
love playing chess. So
Mhm.
that's lay out the foundation that I want to fix things.
I think this is related to anyone, because uh the conclusion that after, like, there is a time during the CCA preparation where it's like, this is so hard, but you don't think like I have to quit, or I can quit, I can stop. It's like, ah I have to continue. And I realized that CCIE guys, they really love problems. They
Yeah,
like to solve problems, but they really like problems. Like, if there is a dragon and you see people running away, CCIE's guy, they will go in the direction where the dragon is. So we definitely love problems because we love to solve problems. So this is something that I believe so far most of CCIEs that I know, they have this thing in common. So
yeah, I
okay,
agree.
uh, the last one. You are a creator, you are a teacher, and you have a YouTube channel. So I'd like to know from you, what makes your YouTube channel to stand out from other YouTube creators? Why people should watch your YouTube channel?
All right, interesting question. So I created this channel to the purpose of just sharing my knowledge,
Mm,
right? So my channel is a mix of everything. So I'm an
mm,
instructor, so I teach. I do demo. I have whiteboard sessions, so I talk about many different technology concepts, whether it's networking, security, Linux, even programming. So that
mm,
part you can see or browse my channel that I am doing tutorials. Okay,
okay.
not only just concepts, but I also demonstrate. Like I demonstrate configuration on CLI, for example, Cisco, Arista, or even F5. I also demonstrate cloud concepts, AWS. I have many videos configuring AWS. Okay, so it's a mix of open source, vendor, even
Mm,
cloud configuration. Now, one thing that I'm proud of in my channel that you can't see in any other IT YouTube is that I talk about certifications in various levels. I'm a non-conformist person,
mm,
so I understand the most popular things, and sometimes I also look, and sometimes, most of the time, I also go with those underrated technologies, underrated certifications. So I think I'm the only YouTuber who talks about various certifications, not just the popular certifications, but also the underrated certifications. For example, many YouTubers talks about this overrated certifications like CompTIA, EC Council, ISC
mm,
Squared. Those are very popular. Now, on the vendor side, what are the popular vendor certifications? It's only Cisco, right? And
yeah.
a lot of YouTubers talks about CCNA, but not too many YouTubers talks about CCNP and CCIEs, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
What else? I talk about other vendors such as F5, Palo Alto, Fortinet, okay, and many others. So for the audience, I'm just telling that if you do this and you do this, you will get a better opportunity. Of course, there's an advantage taking the popular certifications, but not
Yeah.
all popular certifications are good. They are just popular. Okay, there are
Yeah.
many underrated certifications. And if you browse at my channel, I've already mentioned at least 50, maybe more, 50 or 60 or maybe 70 different certifications, from vendor neutral to vendor specific to cloud. Not only that, since I love taking certification exams, I also share my opinion. Okay, I rate those certification exams. After passing them, I create a certification review where I talk about the certification and would I recommend this certification? What are the advantages and benefits? Okay, and many others. I've been doing YouTube for more than 3 years now, and I really believe sharing my knowledge to audience globally. Okay, not only in my region, not only in Southeast Asia, but globally in the United States, in Europe, in India, everywhere. Is something that I really love to do. Okay, I'm not doing this for the money, because if I just want money, I will just focus on my Udemy and my ILT, my instructor-led training courses. But
Mm.
YouTube, I'm not a big shot YouTuber like David Bombal or Hacker Loy or Network Chalk. No, it's more of my personal goal, just sharing my knowledge, sharing my skills to everyone, especially those who wants to break into the IT industry.
Okay, so it's like you are giving what you wish you had when you started this journey, but in a more broad overview, instead of just Cisco, just the popular certifications, but so that people can really have a sense of what is out there and how can they increase the chances of getting better job opportunities, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right. I sometimes criticize some other YouTubers, like if they create their best certification. Okay, best. When you say best, that means on the top, best, best. Why is CCNA there? Is it, if you add CCNA as your best certification, does it mean that CCNA is better than CCNP and CCIE? Come on, man. They
Yeah.
overlook a lot of really good and top level certifications. Okay, there are many expert level certifications, not just CCIE. Sometimes I talk about F5 expert level. Okay, Palo Alto expert level certifications. Those are overlooked. Okay, what else? Penetration testing certifications, there are too many. Okay, I kind of group those penetration testing certifications because penetration testing is also huge. They have many different tracks. Like Cisco, we have many tracks. We have collaboration, data center security,
Hmm.
enterprise routing and switching. In penetration testing, there are also some tracks like web application, AD or Active Directory,
Yeah.
malware penetration testing. So if I do my certification videos, I actually categorize them. Okay. Also, I talk about many different levels. In Cisco, we have associate, professional, and expert, right? So
Hmm.
I give my opinion what is the best associate level certifications so that audience would know if I'm starting my career, these are the level of certification that I will look for. For example, you will see CISSP as one of the best cybersecurity certifications. All right, CISSP is very popular, it's a good certification, but it's not for younger people. It's not for the fresh grads. It's not for the unexperienced individual because CISSP requires you to have an experience. And you cannot
Mm.
just jump to CISSP without a good foundation, okay,
Yeah.
in network, in servers, in overall security. So that's how I do it when I create videos. I categorize the certifications. Also, I talk about many different levels.
Hmm. Man, that's great. That's great. So I'm going to hope that people take a look at your YouTube channel so that they can really check by themselves and start uh, choosing a better path on how to create, on how to develop their career in IT.
Yeah, yeah. It's something that my team is very proud of because we are doing a lot of experimenting. Like even you, I believe all creators use their creativity to not just create content, but to give more people interest, to entertain people. Okay,
Mhm.
now in the IT world, it's a little different because I just found out that our audience doesn't want to be entertained, right? They're more serious people. So if you create videos, it should be topic that is more serious, less entertaining. If you're gonna entertain them, it should not be the level of other videos, not non-IT
Yeah. Yeah.
videos. It should be serious.
Yeah. Got it. I got it. I got it. So, in case people want to find you, in case they want to get in contact with you, where people should find you, where can they reach you?
All right, so two things. I am very active in my YouTube. So if you comment, it's either me or my team will reply to you. Actually, it's more of my team. Yeah, just a disclaimer. Some people, bashing me, saying good,
Mm,
bad comments about my content. If someone replied to your comment, it's not gonna be me. It will
okay.
be my team. So, especially the bad comments. It kind of my team protects me, of course.
Okay.
Sometimes I reply, but it's very rare. I am more responsive in LinkedIn. So if you
Okay.
have questions related to career, certification, or my course, feel
Mm,
free to connect with me via LinkedIn. Add me as a connection, and then just hit me question. Okay,
okay.
and also in Udemy, if you send me a message via Udemy, okay, if you enroll to my course, send me a message. I'm also very responsive.
Okay. So I'm going to share the link to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Udemy also in the video description. So in case people want to reach out to you, they're going to do it directly. So once
Yeah,
again, Dean, thanks for taking the time, and I hope to see you in the next one.
yeah. Thanks for having me, Silesio. And for those who are watching, yeah, just check Silesio YouTube channel. He has many videos, really more into Cisco routing and switching, all of these topics. So thanks for
Mm.
watching, and hopefully we can see each other again.